Good evening. This is the Warren Select Board on August 21st, 2025 at 6 p.m. This meeting is being recorded and broadcast via our local cable access channel WCAT on Zoom, Facebook, and YouTube. If anyone in the audience is recording, please let us know. And if we can start with the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, our first agenda item is going to be tabled. Report from Quabog School District Superintendent Steve Duff. He wants to wait until September. So next on the agenda is review and discuss a request from the Board of Assessors for the creation/adoption of Chapter 61, 61A, and 61B land sale or conversion notification policy with Chair of the Board of Assessors, Deborah Hardy. All right, Deborah, you're up.
Hi, I don't know if you can see me. I can't see myself too well.
We can see you.
Screen. So thank you for the opportunity to speak this evening. I'm here to revisit an item that we had discussed back in October of 2024 concerning establishing a policy for sale and conversion. At the board's prior request, when I was there with Mr. Makowski, you've asked for us to incorporate two specific additions, a comment regarding the planning board involvement and an update concerning the solar addendum, which I did do. So I don't know if you had a chance to look it over.
Yes.
Do you want me to go through it all again, or if you have comments
Or maybe
on the
just,
draft?
maybe just talk about the things that were added, like the
Yep.
solar part.
Under the landowner notification requirements, I did add under a process note that a formal decision from the Board of Selectmen must be completed before scheduling a meeting with the planning board. We had people who were going to the planning board first and then going to the Board of Selectmen. So hopefully not to have that process with removing their property happen first before they plan on what they want to do. And then at the end, if anybody has any questions on that, that was just a small piece we had talked about. And then at the end was just a little piece we wanted to add about solar, when change of use might be there, and I basically added in what it said under Mass General Law concerning solar energy system on chapter land 61A.
Okay, so I guess probably our concern was if a solar company works with a landowner to say lease the land, intending to put a solar site on there, is that when the use changes? I think that's what the planning board was concerned about.
Well, I think it would be considering whether it met the criteria that I put in the addendum.
Yeah.
And
okay.
also, if a person has to remove their property from chapter for a year, like if somebody just removed it for a year, we would not get involved in that because they have a right, if they've been paying full taxes for a year out of chapter, to then sell or do whatever they want to everyone they want, to anybody they would want to.
Okay, yeah. All right, so a solar site, a commercial solar site is going to be more than 125% of the annual
Yeah.
energy
Mhm.
used. All right.
I guess my main purpose was because there were people, everyone's taking the property out differently. and try to establish a policy. If there's, assessor's office really doesn't have a lot to do with them taking or removing their property, but in a way that everybody was doing it in the same way.
Okay. Do we need to worry about wind?
It's the same thing. It's
What-
on the same part.
Oh,
I
I'm
mean,
sorry, are
yeah.
you speaking to me? I can't
Well,
hear you.
no, what about wind? I'm sorry to bring this up now, because you probably are buttoning this up. I mean, it would be the same sort of
It
situation.
would be the same sort of thing.
Okay.
And like I said, it's changing every day. The best thing would be if you thought it was a change of use, to contact DSL Law, ask them what their energy policy is around that, to guide you.
Okay.
I did put that in there. That's our best resources if there's things that we don't know.
I like the thing that we can go on the land during the 120-day period too,
Yes.
to basically check it out and do any testing we need to do. It might be worth saying survey, soil testing, water sampling, and other pertinent tests or something. Because maybe
Okay,
there,
whatever, yep.
like an environmental, I don't know, some sort of environmental assessment, or, I don't know. I guess just not to limit it to those three.
Okay. Certainly add that.
Okay. Any other comments, questions?
No, sir. No, I'd just say, if you're already adding it, you're making changes before it's finally approved, just add the wind in, the wind and solar.
Yeah.
You're just adding wind. Just changing a couple spots. Doesn't change anything.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
This
you
way,
could-
this way, nobody has that argument like, well, it doesn't specifically identify that. You know, if you don't put it in there, then there's a gray zone. It can be argued.
Yeah, I think that's right. And wind actually takes up quite a bit of land, so it's conceivable that, the whole parcel could be used for that.
You gotta worry about ambient noise and everything else with that too.
Yeah. Jim, did you have any questions or comments?
I will just let the board know that this has not been reviewed by town council yet.
Yeah.
So if the board is okay with the main parts besides what they're suggesting tonight, if I get a final copy from Deb Hardy, I can then forward it to council for their review and then can be back to the board for its next meeting.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right, yeah, I think we're okay with it then.
Okay, so I just want to go over, so you want me to add the extra part about environmental?
No, not environmental necessarily. I would just, like, the fourth bullet should be like, and any other, what would you say, any other actions the town deems necessary to evaluate
Okay.
the land, right? Just
Okay.
leave it real loose.
Okay. Okay. And so once I put that in, do you want it to go by you again, or would you like me to send it directly to Mr. Ferrera?
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Okay, I will do that.
Because I know we threw you a curveball with the wind. But, yeah, then we can move it along.
So we all set, or?
I think so.
Okay, thank you, I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, number 2, discussion with a possible vote to appoint Joe Condrat of 55 Pleasant Street to the Zoning Board of Appeals for a 3-year term. So we have a letter here. Joe is interested in being appointed to the ZBA. I don't know, do you want to say anything?
Well, you gentlemen have known me for more than a few years.
A few.
Really, the Board of Appeals, even if they have a hearing, you need the input from the building inspector before the plaintiff can make their discussion, because we got to know why he made a decision to no. I mean, I'm not a person that's gonna just jump on somebody's bandwagon. I cannot be bribed. And threats
Yeah, I don't.
are a waste of time.
I don't know if that's, but have you read through the ZBA, like the guidelines? Because there's very distinct things that they review.
Yeah.
Like if I build a pool that goes right up to my property line, that's not acceptable. But there are some exceptions.
Well, over the last 5 years, I believe there's been twice that they've had to deal with solar panels.
Yeah,
And both times they said no, because it was either we want to build a road through here, or we want to put this right up to our property line. You can't put anything right up to a property line.
yeah.
If it's already there, fine. But you cannot build up to a property line. And I've seen more than one building in town that I wondered how they got the variance,
Yeah, I don't know.
you know? It's just one of those things that,
Yeah,
Mr. Chairman. The role that you're looking for, I know in town there are so many things like you wonder why they got to it. You know, things happen in the past,
yeah.
and there's nothing we can do about it. Now it's grandfather. But really your role, it will be more like being a humble person trying to figure out the problem of the issue that comes to you,
Yeah,
and saying, yeah, this makes sense. This person, you know, he may not be, his lot, it's 2 feet smaller, or the offset property line is just about where it is, and he needs 1 more foot. Then they will come to you and say, hey, look, we know that the offset of the property line, it's 50 feet from the front, and I'm at 51.
yeah.
Can I do it? Please, I really need this. And then becomes you're, you know, that's where you come and say, yeah, we could do this or not. And this is very simple example, but that's basically what people are gonna be looking at when they can't do it something because of the bylaws, because of everything, and they'll
Yeah.
try to, you know, beg, ask in a common way, in a very, you know, logic way. If there's something really logic, and then, oh, sorry, I can't do that. But if it's something, you know, that will help them, yes, of course.
Well, not only that, but it might be a case, it's a simple variance, and the Board of Appeals would actually have to go out and look at the property. Because if you physically look at something, then you can have the person explain the problem. I mean, there are a lot of things that, say like with my house, the property is 100 by 110. If the place burns down, I got 2 choices. I can rebuild within 6 months or donate it to the church. That's about it.
Let me give you a good example, very common. In a lot of the towns, when they want to build into their attic, so make it like almost like a 3rd floor, on the bylaws they say, well, you can't have more than 1.5 stories, you know, on your house. It's a big family, and they really want to have that space, and they are off
Yeah.
like 100 feet. They will come and, you know, they will be denied, and then they'll come to you and say, look, I have a big family, I really need that space. Can we change that a little bit? And that's gonna be at your
Well,
discretion.
in cases like that, building into an attic, I say you have to have a second exit. And I
That's the
actually,
code, that's the code.
that's the code.
Your role is gonna be when we say, okay, we want it square, and the client comes and says, yeah, I want it square, but I need to cut a corner because it happens.
Yeah,
And then you will come and say, yeah, that makes sense, go for it. Or, no, that's not, I'm not gonna approve that, and that's it.
Yeah.
But the code drives, and when the code and our bylaws say no, they'll come at you and say, could you please let this happen? I really need, and it is,
but then the entire board is have to make
Yes.
the decision. It's not solely up to me.
yeah, but you can't dictate what you want.
No,
You can't say, I need a second, I need an exit or a second. The code tells already, it's already there, but there are so
Yeah.
many variables. Everybody has a different site, a different house, and different thing, big, small.
Yeah.
So whenever they hit the wall with the building inspector and everything, and it's denied, and they really want to do it, they'll come to you for a second chance.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only thing. Look at it that way.
Yeah. So this is one of the boards that's actually very important to the community in the
Yeah.
town, because it's where if somebody doesn't feel like they've been given a right approval, say through the planning board, then it would go to an appeals process and to the ZBA, the
Yeah.
Zoning Board of Appeals. And you have to be completely impartial and look and review it and what the evidence is that
Yeah.
you have there. So you have to be very familiar with the bylaws, the processes, what can and can't be done.
Yeah.
Because there are just some things that even though you may want to do, you have to go
Yeah.
by what the bylaw says or by
Well,
what the
not-
laws say and
Not-
give you guidance for.
See, it's not only the bylaws, it's also the state law. And a lot of the bylaws on our books are basic state law. You just have to look at them. And, you know, it's one of those things that I'm not likely to ever be forced to agree with somebody just because of their demand. I look at everything with an open mind from outside the box. And you've known that for me for years.
All right, so with that being said, are there any more questions?
No. Okay. Ask if anybody has any.
Yeah, does anybody have a yay or nay comment to Joe being appointed? Seeing none? All right. We'll take a
I'll
motion.
make a motion to appoint Joseph Condrat to the Zoning Board of Appeals for a 3-year term.
Is there a second?
Second,
All in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye.
Rich Ihacker, aye. All right,
Good job, Joe.
gotta get, you gotta get appointed on Monday, or as soon as. Sworn in, sorry. Yeah, we appointed you. You gotta get sworn in. All right, number 3, discussion with a possible vote to appoint Christopher Capaco of 2270 Main Street to the Zoning Board of Appeals for a 3-year term. Hi.
Good evening, Chairman, members of the board. My name is Chris Capaco, 2270 Main Street. I'm a graduate from Quabog Regional High School back in 2002. I was a previous homeowner here in town on Quabog Street. I've recently moved back into town. I'm looking to get interested in getting involved here with the town in this capacity for Zoning Board of Appeals. I saw this position was available on WCAT. Was watching that and saw the advertisement for that. Travis does great work, and so yeah, I just respectfully submit my letter to you guys for consideration for this, and available to answer any questions that you might have regarding my background or interests. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so you heard the grilling we gave Joe. Do you understand what's going on? And
I was paying attention to that, taking a few notes.
Okay.
Unlike Mr. Conrad, you gentlemen don't know me for as many years, and but like him, this is a no bribe zone. So I
Yeah, I
I
don't
share
think-
I share that sentiment.
hoping we're not considering that sort of angle, but just more the knowledge of what it entails. And there's very defined appeals that can be made, conditions
Sure.
that would be granted appeal.
Sure.
So
Yeah, as
that's
I-
what you have to learn and understand.
Absolutely, yeah. And I've done some research on this since sending my letter to you gentlemen. As I understand, there's really kind of two main buckets. It's the zoning variances as well as the any building inspector decision appeal that somebody wants to make are kind of the two main arms of what the zoning board of appeals is responsible for. I know that there are very strict criteria, as you mentioned, that have to be met, and so there's really it's really just following that process carefully, and not being able to go too far outside of the box there. But I thought this was, because it's an open seat and a board that doesn't meet too often here in this town. I know that there was some, I think it was already mentioned earlier, with the solar stuff that was going on a few years back, they were a little bit more involved with that. But since that's kind of settled, the dust has settled there, not so much meeting these days. I don't know if moving forward with the new Affordable Homes Act that was passed last year for the state, if the ADUs, accessory dwelling units, that are now allowed to be, or at least easier to build, would give the board something to do moving forward. Potentially, there's some personal interest that I have in that sort of thing. So that also was another reason why I wanted to get involved with the zoning board, just because of personal hobby interests in housing markets in general, housing crisis, and looking forward at ways to alleviate that and help the town become, hopefully, if the town and the board are open to it, an ADU-friendly town, and looking ways to escape the housing crisis that we're in. That's one of the potential paths forward there. So
You might want to be on planning board. Honestly.
I'm dipping my toes in
He
here,
doesn't
and
handle any of that.
Yeah, I mean, you'd only handle the appeals if something went
Yeah.
Right.
different, but yeah.
yeah, I figured
Don't
this would
think
be a
about
good way
planning
to
board.
start and maybe go from there in the future. But
Yeah.
dip my toes with the ZBA at first. Yeah, that was kind of
Okay,
my thought.
that's good.
Yeah.
Any questions, comments?
I have a few. So you seem very knowledgeable. You're definitely very articulate. You seem like a very smart guy. You've done your research, so I'm impressed with that.
Thank you.
The only problem I have is there could be an appearance of a conflict of interest.
Sure.
And you know where I'm going with this?
I think so.
And you know who your father is, right?
Yeah,
And
I know who he is.
What
Yeah,
board is he on?
he's on the
planning
planning board, and I think the finance committee as well, and maybe a
So
third one.
that can be seen as a conflict of interest
Okay.
by appointing you to this board, because anything he votes on, whether it's yay or nay, in planning board, you would have to recuse yourself from that.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if it involved the planning board.
So that could be quite a bit of stuff involving planning board and it could be either the determination between a split vote where you can't pass something, or just not being fairly done.
Mhm.
So my concern is it's a conflict of interest for you to be on that board. I think you're great for a lot of positions in town because you definitely did your work. My concern is the conflict of interest and the appearance of it with you being on that board and having to make determinations for anything that was approved through the planning board,
Sure.
okay?
Understood.
So that would be a concern, and I know any good lawyer is gonna target that.
Okay.
Can we look into council just to, that,
So,
be okay with that?
What the board could do is table this till the next meeting and ask Chris to call the State Ethics Commission and speak to the lawyer of the day and ask for an opinion.
Because I have nothing against you being on there, you know, even if you have a relative on the other board. But, I mean, we go by the legal here. So maybe that's a good option. Just check all your boxes and, I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
You're okay with that? Willing to do that?
Yeah, I have no problem seeking some feedback from council, just to confirm that that's something that maybe, I'm guessing there's probably some precedents here that we could look into.
And it's very simple.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
did it too, because I
Okay.
was in planning board, I ended up on both, on Board of Selectmen,
Yeah.
and I had to be sure that was okay.
yeah, I understand, yeah.
So-
Yeah, you want to make sure your Ts are crossed, your Is are dotted, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Besides
no
that, welcome you, I have
Okay.
no problem.
Yeah, you'd be good on the board, so.
Okay. Is that something you would like me to initiate?
Yeah,
Yeah, you have to. We
Okay.
can't call for you. No
Right.
one can call
Okay.
for someone.
Sure.
They'll tell you no.
All right, yeah,
Just make sure you get an email from them, because what they do is they'll talk to you, but just make sure you give them your email and everything, because then they'll actually send you an email following up with the discussion and saying, yeah, there is an appearance of conflict, or this or that, or there's no appearance, or they might just tell you, you know, maybe go for an
Yeah.
elected position or
Okay,
something.
yeah.
You know,
And
You know,
some-
it's up to them.
In some cases with conflict of interest, as long as you declare it, and this is probably more financially sometimes, which wouldn't be the case here, but you can actually go to the town clerk and fill out a piece of paper that says, I understand there's a conflict, I feel like I can do this to my
Okay.
best ability. And that attorney may say, if you run across this, do something like that.
Okay.
And you would be all right.
yeah. So I'll reach out and inquire and see what their next steps would be.
Yes, it's right on the state, it's on the website, it's on the State Ethics Commission website. I can
Okay.
get the number for you.
I can probably find it too myself, but thanks, Jim. And whatever I get from them, as you mentioned, I'll get in writing and I can just forward over to you. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we
And
are
save the email, because if it ever comes up,
right.
comes before planning board, then comes before ZBA, and
Yep.
however you rule, if then it's like,
Okay,
now you have that letter that said it was okay.
sure.
It will come up. We've had it all come up.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
look for
yeah.
whatever
They,
angle they
they are
can.
looking for any little niche.
Yeah,
And if
And-
that can be a technicality,
Yeah.
boom, they got it.
Right, yeah,
And
okay.
we're not telling you no. We're just saying, okay, we'll hold this.
Yeah, I understand, yeah.
Do that.
Understood.
Come back, and we finish it.
Yep,
in fact, I would recommend that if someone else applies, Chris is first in line. Can we do that until we?
Well, this is gonna be tabled.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's stable, so
But I
it's,
just want to make
he's
sure.
first in line
Someone
anyway.
else pops up and decides, you're first in line.
okay, thank you.
In the queue. Did you? Oh,
This is
Jim's-
the number.
That's good. If he can leave with the number.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Chris. All right. So we'll put that on for next time. All right. Discussion with a possible vote to appoint Sandra Camburn to the Warren Conservation Commission for a one-year term? Why are we doing one-year terms?
That's what, when I checked with the
Because
town
it's still
clerk.
election,
Because
right?
they're replacing someone whose term?
Yes.
Okay. Is Sandra here? No? Okay.
I don't think, is she on Zoom? No.
No. Okay, well, I don't know, I read these emails, it seemed, I'm happy all these people are stepping up to volunteer. This is awesome. So, conservation has been needing people for a while, so,
I'd like to talk to her. It's typically what we have.
yeah.
We talk to these people, see what their interests are, their knowledge,
What's her background?
right?
She just says passion for conservation and relevant experience align with the committee's goals.
Is conservation in great need?
Ah, yeah. Yeah.
I don't have a problem appointing her today.
Yeah,
We can get that
I don't
done.
really either. I mean, it would be nice to have her show up, but.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, we did receive a letter here from the chair of the Warren Conservation Commission saying that both individuals, both Sandra and Gabriella, attended a
Yeah.
Warren Conservation Commission meeting.
Right, they did.
And discussed their interests there. You know, I know that Griffin had reached out to everybody who had applied for positions and asked them to be present at the meeting today, well in advance of this meeting. So we did not hear a response back from Sandra.
Okay. Well, I know that she's showed up to conservation and they talked to the commission, so I don't think we would get a recommendation letter if they weren't comfortable having her appointed. So I'm okay with it. You didn't hear from Sandra at all? Yeah. Okay.
I prefer them to show up. To talk to them and see how they are and what they express. If Joyce already vetted her,
Yeah.
I'm good with that. You know, Joyce is the chair of that board.
Right, they have to work with the new people, so.
She's not married to anybody on the board, is she?
Nope,
No conflicts.
nope,
I would
neither
ask
person.
anybody out there if they have any conflicts with it.
Yeah, you said you're okay. Any yes, no opinions? Okay. Somebody want to make a motion?
All right. I'll make a motion to appoint Sandra Camburn to the Warren Conservation Commission for a one-year term.
Is there a second?
Second,
All in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye.
Richi Hacker, aye. Motion carries. So can you contact her and give her the update?
Yep.
Discussion with a possible vote to appoint Gabrielle McKenna of 315 Keys Road to the Warren Conservation Commission for a one-year term. It's Gabrielle, oh, good, okay. So you got someone here. Excellent.
Hi, my name's Gabrielle McKenna. I live on 315 Keys Road in Warren. I'm happy to be here. I don't have any particular background in conservation. However, I am a speech-language pathologist in Sturbridge. I also own a business here out of my house in town, so I did go through the planning board and the special permits in order to do that.
Okay,
That's where you
yep,
know me from.
yep.
And through that, I obviously got very familiar with bylaws and reading them and learning about not only our town's bylaws, but also state laws and, things like that related to my house in particular, which I know is separate from the Conservation Commission. However, I will be reading a lot of bylaws there too, so I feel like
Yeah.
I do have some good understanding of what that entails as well.
So did you know Sandra, or you just happened to show up coincidentally
No, I don't know Sandra.
at the same meeting?
Yeah.
That's bizarre.
We
Okay.
we both applied.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so we went to it.
Wow.
We just
all right.
both were there. Yeah. We were asked to go. So
How
we
did you hear
obviously
about it?
went. I've been looking to join a commission or a board in town for at least a few months, probably close to a year. So
Oh my
I've
God,
been wanting
good.
to get involved in town, and I was just waiting for the right opportunity. No offense to the zoning board, that wouldn't be
No,
something
no,
I could
yeah, you gotta go
I
where you're
could do.
comfortable.
Yeah.
Planning board is available too.
FinCom, what else?
Yeah.
We can keep you busy.
There's a lot of boards.
If I'm qualified.
Well, for conservation, what happens in conservation is that, you know, there's a project. In that project, if there are wetlands, conservation automatically comes in as a authority to say yes or no. If there are no wetlands, they don't see conservation. That's it.
Right.
And then within that, you're already very good at reading the laws and the bylaws but basically that's what it is. And they want to preserve as much as possible the wetlands because they are the filters of the polluted water into the aqua system.
Right.
Basically, that's what it is. And there are rules about how close a house can be or a road or like
Yeah,
that.
it was nice, the meeting we went to, there wasn't a whole lot on the plan for that day, so we got to talk a lot with Joyce and the commission themselves about
Okay.
kind of what it entails.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
So yeah, I have a few questions.
Okay.
So, it seems like you're making yourself knowledgeable about it, and that's very impressive. I know we've seen you before in the planning board, and your project that you had going on there, you wanted to do speech pathology out of the house, and you did your research there too. It's nice to see people interested in coming into the boards. We really need
Yes.
people to do that, and especially new generations. We need newer people. I think I'm done with a lot of this, and I put all my part into it. And it's time to pass on to new people and let them proceed with the future. And it's good to see you interested in that. There's a lot of research with conservation. It's a very, very important board because the town could get fined for things that you guys might approve and cause issues with environmental laws. So it's you have to do your research, and sometimes you have to be very by the book. And if you know Joyce is by the book, and she does her research. She is very knowledgeable
Yeah.
about everything conservation. And she's a good mentor for you, and I would definitely learn as much as you can from her, because someday you might be sitting in her seat if this gets
Yeah.
approved.
Well,
So-
thank you. I plan to. I mean, having the degree in the major that I have, it's very research based. So I'm used to doing a lot of research scientifically as well, but I also know that we'll be going to a lot of classes and courses and
Yeah.
learning a lot about conservation in general. So that definitely makes me feel more comfortable with it, because it's not like I only have to read and learn from the bylaws, which I would do, but it's very overwhelming. I also know that we'll have Joyce and we'll have the rest of the commission, and we'll also have the courses that we will be taking as well.
There's a lot of research out there. There's sources for you to be able to get information
Yes.
from too. And the courses that they do offer, we've gone to a lot of courses over the years, and they're eye-opening, because some of the stuff that you think you should be able to do and you think you can do, you definitely can't do. And it's good to know that before you go try to pass something, when you might actually violate somebody's rights or violate the law. So definitely do your research, learn as much as you can, and I think it's awesome having somebody, interested. And it's great to have so many people interested in
Yeah,
going
this
into
is
boards.
awesome. Yeah, it's a good.
Love this. So,
All right.
Thank you.
Anybody from the audience? Comments? All right. So I'll await a motion.
Okay, I'll make a motion to appoint Gabrielle McKenna to the Warren Conservation Commission for a one-year term.
Is there a second?
Second,
All in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye.
Richi Hacker, aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
So you got to get sworn in,
Okay.
and you're all set. And your next meeting is second
so
Wednesday in September.
Can I get sworn in anytime before then, or? Is there
Yeah,
a-
pretty much.
Okay.
You have to get sworn in before.
Before that,
Yeah,
I just want to
yeah,
make sure.
before, yeah.
I go back to school next week, so I just want to make sure I have time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, Lori will get you that.
Yeah, you're gonna do the ethics training online too.
All right. So we're going to table again the appointment of Bryce Douglas as a special traffic constable. He's still unavailable due to an injury. So number 7, discussion with a possible vote to reappoint Mary Jane Adam of 52 Chapel Street to the Council on Aging for a 3-year term.
Sign,
Mary Jane Adam.
not online.
All right.
It's a reappointment though.
Yep. I don't know, any questions?
Haven't heard anything negative.
No.
I'm good, sir.
Any questions from the audience? Anybody have an opinion? Okay. I guess if you want to go ahead and make a motion.
I'm making a motion to reappoint Mary Jane Adam to the Council of Aging for a 3-year term.
Is there a second?
Second,
All in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye.
Richi Hacker, aye. Motion carries. So Griffin, give her an update. Thank you. All right, number 8, discussion with a possible vote to declare Fire Truck 1 as surplus property and to authorize its sale through an auction.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Lloyd, Fire Chief. Thank you for having me in tonight. Tonight, I'd just like to have a discussion about our current fire engine number 1. That truck is due for, its replacement is due in the next few weeks to be coming in. This is a project we've been working on for, I believe, 4 years now. So we're finally there. It's getting the last few modifications and installations that it needs. So we expect that truck to be here in a couple weeks, and we do need to decide what we want to do with the current engine number 1 that we currently have. We had a couple of options on there that I looked at initially, which was another town locally that may want it. They could not fit it into their station, so that just wasn't going to work. Highway was looking at it as possibly creating a 10-wheel dump truck, but they were able to find one on surplus property, so they're no longer interested in that. So a few months ago, we had a vendor come out and do a presentation for the District 7 fire chiefs, which is part of, Warren is part of District 7 fire. And this company is called Garage, and with the permission of the chairman, I'd like to ask if we could bring that up so you can see what this site is and what they're capable of doing, and some of the testimonies that others have give. If you go to, it's withgarage.com, www.withgarage.com.
What is it? WW what?
Withgarage.com. Yep, garage.com. I think this is an excellent choice for the town, and I'll kind of explain this so that. Yep. So what Garage does is it's a third-party vendor that advertises nationally.
Yeah.
Could you
Oh, share the
share
screen.
the screen, please? Sorry, Chief.
No problem. Typically, one of the problems that we have when it comes to fire equipment, police equipment, is that it's a very unique audience that wants this stuff, or it goes to scrap. Those are really the only choices. In fact, the vendor that that manufactured our truck that's coming in offered us a $3,000 trade for that vehicle. $3,000, okay, which is typically what departments get. It's really, really, really low. I expected maybe $10,000 for this truck. We have a department that's in the state of Louisiana that wants to purchase this truck for $60,000. So that is huge, and it's clearly the best route for the town to go. So we had Garage come in to one of our local District 7 chiefs. If you scroll down a little bit, you'll be able to see there's a whole variety of different categories. And if you go to the tankers and tenders category, and you scroll down, keep going, the bottom, on the right-hand side there in the middle, you'll see our current truck that's listed on there. Okay, everything is de-identified. They do that through AI, just to keep the decals and stuff off of here. But you can get an idea of the different types of prices and everything like that. We originally advertised the price
for $65,000 to see, this is no cost to the town to put it up here, to see what the market value might be. And we received an offer of $60,000, which I think
Nice.
is more than fair for this truck. It's a 1997. There's departments out there that, cannot afford to buy brand new trucks at the current prices. The current truck that we just purchased was $650,000 for that project. So, there are departments that are, can do some basic maintenance to it and hopefully get another few years out of it. The department that currently wants to buy it, I believe, is going to be using it as a backup tanker while their new one comes in. So they're looking to, to put a little bit of life into it and use it for a few more years. So basically what Garage does is a third-party vendor that advertises these trucks nationally. And it goes to specifically mostly all departments, other municipalities, which is allowed under 30B, which is great for us because it helps us expedite this process. So basically what happens is they advertise it for us, they take pictures, they list it, we can modify it. I put this listing up myself, working with their liaison, and at the end of the day, whenever they sell it, they get 10% of that fee. So if we sell it tomorrow for 60%, the town will get a check for $54,000. So we have an intent letter that I attached to the agenda item for you to look at with, signed by the Board of Commissioners for the Franklin Parish Fire District, number 4, which again is in the city of Gilbert, Louisiana, which is where the truck would be going. Garage also takes care of the freight. It'll go onto a low bed
That was my
and it'll
next
be
question.
taken out of there at no cost to the town. So
So
all
the
of
buyer pays.
that's correct. The buyer
shipping.
pays the shipping for it and everything. So once this is done and approved and official, and they're well aware that our new truck isn't here yet, that we have to train on it. So we're talking a good month plus out before this is even going to happen. But, I wanted to get this on the earliest agenda I could for the selectmen to discuss so they were comfortable with what was going on here. So, so that's currently where we go. If you keep going down, I'd like to go to the testimonials. Can you go back to the last page, excuse me, to the main homepage? Let's see here. Yeah, right here. So over here is a friend of mine. He happens to be the deputy chief in Auburn, Massachusetts. His name is Glenn Johnson. They just recently sold a truck. The town of Auburn just sold a truck using this, and he was asked to do a testimonial. There's plenty of others you can look at, but I figured this is a good way to show the board how this process kind of works. If you would click on that for me, please.
I'm Glenn Johnson. I'm the Deputy Fire Chief for the Auburn Fire Rescue Department. I've been with the Auburn Fire Department for 30 years. We run about 5,500 calls a year. We are a career department that staffs 11 firefighters per shift. And the equipment that we use is very important. It's the tools for our job, whether it's fire-related, EMS-related, or some sort of hazmat. Cost of equipment. It's been difficult for budgets to maintain that, especially on the municipal side. Traditionally, when we sell trucks, we send them to auction. From there, it's usually local bidders. Vehicles that we sell never seem to get national attention, and that's what we liked about Garage. It went out across the whole entire country. People had access to it. They could bid on it. And within a day, they were receiving questions about it. Within 4 days, we had it sold. We would have sold it for a fraction of the price of what we actually received from selling it on Garage. We were able to take that money and put it towards firefighting equipment to help the firefighters do their jobs. Garage does all behind-the-scenes work. They arrange the shipping. It traveled over 2,000 miles to its new home. If you list it, it's free. If you pull it off, you don't have to pay anything. So as a buyer, it's a one-stop shop. It makes things very easy. It was a great experience, and I would do it again in a heartbeat.
So again, they did a presentation for our District 7 fire chiefs. It was very impressive. There's quite a few other communities that are now using this process to be able to do it because, again, what we're used to in this world has always been municipal-bid and other things like that, where quite honestly the towns lose their shirts over what they get for these surplus equipment. So this is a much better because you're selling directly to other departments that know what the value of these trucks are. It's not a scrapper. It's not someone that's going to turn it around and turn it into a farm vehicle or something like that. These are people that are going to purchase it and use it in a new life in some way for another few years. So, I truly believe that an offer of $60,000 is way above and beyond what I expected to get for this vehicle, and I think it's the best thing that the town could get for it. By far. So I just wanted to ask that, you know, once our new truck comes in, if the board could vote tonight to deem that surplus property so that we can, you know, officially accept, you know, and officially accept that offer. Obviously, I'll work behind the scenes to arrange everything else, but I just wanted to bring it to the board tonight for discussion.
Okay. I mean, it looks good to me. We've gotten used stuff from other people, and it's good to, like the hoses we gave to another
Yep.
community, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
we have
it's
a
the
choice
same
of-
thing. If we can trade stuff back and forth, I think it's awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, this truck still has value. It does
Yeah,
have a
obviously.
value to another, yeah, obviously. So, and if you look at the other, if you go back to that site, you see it, I mean, it's a fair price compared to a lot of the other vehicles on there. There are some that are, you know, more, some that are less. It all depends on what, you know, what's unique to that truck. But, you know, I think that, you know, this process has been, you know, they've been great to work with. They've always followed up. We've actually, there's one of two offers. This was the highest offer we got. We've had probably 10 people reach out, and I answered the emails and text messages and everything, asking different questions, send the specs from the truck to each one of these so they can review it. So again, it's a national organization, which is really nice because you can see, I mean, someone from Louisiana was able to view the truck and decide that they were interested in it. So
Yeah, I think it's awesome.
yeah.
Any
Yeah, it's
comments?
a lot more than $3,000 that
Yeah.
you were gonna get
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
it for the
exactly.
trade-in,
That's
so
huge.
yeah,
And the nice thing
financially,
about
yes.
this too is that they do everything. If you go back up again, like, last time we traded in our ambulance, we traded it in and they gave us like $15,000 or $20,000 for it. This is a much better, before this even existed, they have a whole category for ambulances on here. So I'll guarantee that when we go to turn over that ambulance in the next, you know, 3 years from now, putting it on here, we'll get a lot more for it than we would have gotten if we traded it into the dealer that was making our next ambulance, you know? So this is a way for the town to really, you know, capitalize on getting some taxpayer money back.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, there's some good prices. So as long as we have good equipment that we can put up there.
Yep. And all of our stuff is always maintenance well, so there's no doubt that this will sell. In fact, Mr. Ferrer asked me, he asked me to list the wheelchair van for the senior center. That's
Oh.
also on this site. So I put that up the other day, so you'd actually be able to see
Any
that with
offers yet?
information. So I have not received any offers on that yet. This is really geared towards fire and police. However,
Yeah.
they have a category, if you go back to the main page, go down, keep going. Yep, there you go. Let's see. It's on there somewhere. There's a-
Other?
I mean, there's even, you know, you can even sell power tools and everything like that on here, but there's a specific thing, I just don't see it. Can you go back to the main homepage? Go scroll down. Go to municipal vehicles. Go down. Why it's not coming up. There's a specific category for wheelchair and handicap vehicles, so
Oh,
it
okay.
is listed on there. We just have to find it. I didn't. It's
I
under
think
our.
we get enough, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
But like I
We
said,
believe
even
it.
that's listed on there, so I just think, again, this is, from what I've seen, what we get from these bids on Municipid and stuff like that, you can start the bid and get a bid for $500 for something that's worth $7,000, and you can accept it, which a lot of times we do, because it's really the only option, or, you know, it ends up at a Copart or something, and you get nothing for it too. So this makes a lot more sense for the town.
Yeah, this is good. It's good.
I'm
All
good
right,
with it.
any,
Mr. Chairman? Just, Mr. Chairman, if I may, the senior center van is also listed on Municipid. And the
Okay.
current bid right now we're at is $2,600, where the auction is gonna stop early next week, so I'll let you know what the final bid is on that.
And if we get an offer from this, you know, again, this is a new category for them, so there's not a whole lot listed there, and a lot of people may not know that they have, vans like that on there, so there may not be a huge market for it, but if I do get an offer, it's listed currently for $7,000.
okay. Derek, you have any comments?
Chief, take my hat off again. You're the best. Thank you for everything you do to.
Well,
you know, to
I'm
what
honestly
you do.
glad they came in and did a presentation. It was right at the perfect time when we were looking to turn over that vehicle, and it couldn't come in a better time, because it really opened my eyes when I realized what people are truly getting from another department, what these vehicles are actually worth, and unfortunately, what we've been giving them away for. And I don't mean just Warren, I mean across the industry. It's kind of sad.
All right. If there's nothing further, is there a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to declare the fire truck one as surplus property and authorize the sale through through an auction. Is it, or garage? Do we want to do it to garage?
Or just do auction.
And could you also
Yeah.
just amend that to accept the offer from Franklin Parish?
Oh, yeah, right, because we have a specific buyer.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to declare fire truck one as surplus property and authorize the sale on auction and to Franklin Parish for their bid of $60,000.
Is there a second?
Second,
All in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye.
Rich Hacker, aye. Motion carries.
Yes, there it is. Thank you so much.
I just did a search for
Yeah.
wheelchair van and it came out.
Thank you so much. Very appreciated.
All right. Cool. Discussion with a possible vote to enter into a contract with GZA Geo Environmental, Inc. for the Cutter Park Design Improvement Project.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Before you this evening is a contract, exciting contract with GZA and Geo Environmental, Inc. As a consultant for the Cutter Park Design Improvement Project. This contract is coming before the board for consideration after a procurement process has been completed, where we received quite a bit of interest in consultants that are looking to do this type of work. I believe we had 6 respond to the request for qualifications. And the committee, which was made up of myself, Jeremy Olson, Sue Ramsey, John O'Leary, that was it, sat down, reviewed all the proposals, and selected GZA to do the redesign of the Cutter Park. We feel that their background in park work was superior, and that their niche was dealing with communities in western and central Mass. So they are a Springfield firm, not too far away, and they have extensive work in western and central Mass. And so we're bringing this forward for consideration. This is going to be paid for through CDBG funds. And this is the contract that is here before you this evening.
Okay. GZA's done some other work for us in the past too, and I think.
Oh, really?
Actually, conservation.
Okay.
Copart. So, any questions?
Jimmy, in a summary, what we're getting at the end.
So you're getting a plan and a redesign of Cutter Park.
There's the proposals right here. So they're gonna do 3 public meetings, right?
Right.
And then come up with some scenarios.
Yes, there'll be some engagement with the public.
Yeah.
Engagement with the park commissioners in the town.
Okay,
Okay, sir.
all right. There's no questions. Need a motion?
I'll make a motion to enter into a contract with GZA Geo Environmental, Inc. for Cutter Park Design Improvement Project.
Is there a second?
Second,
All in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye.
Rich Hacker, aye. Motion carries. Number 10, discussion with a possible vote to enter into a contract with Realtor Deborah Deschamps from Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Realty to act as the official listing agent for 38 Elm Street.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Mr. Champs apologizes for not being here this evening. However, she's just coming back from vacation today. I don't even know if her flight has landed, but she apologized for not being able to make the meeting. But she was selected after a solicitation to list the property at 38 Elm Street. The town went out for solicitation to procure a real estate license broker, a real estate license agent or broker, and the town had sent out 4 solicitations to local agents and brokers. We received 2 responses, and a committee was formed after the responses were due. The committee was myself, the fire chief, the police chief. We reviewed the responses, and it was clear that based on price, that Deborah DeChamps offered the best price for the town, the lowest price for the town. This contract is for a 3% commission with a 2% buyer's agent fee. That is non-negotiable. The property is going to be listed as is. Deborah DeChamps is associated or affiliated with Berkshire Hathaway Realty Professionals, which is a national company, and will market and list the property. She has put a summary report together, and based on her research, she feels that the recommended listing price for this property should be set at $189,900. And that's based on comparable sales, what the market could bring, the current condition of the property. However, there was a nugget that she strongly recommended the town do, which is, number 1, clean up the brush in overgrowth around the property. That's basically, you can't see the property of so much. There's so much overgrowth there, and that was number 1. Number 2, there is a ton of junk and trash in and around the property that still needs to be cleaned up. And so she had recommended that the town solicit and procure the services of a junk company to come in and clean it out before it's listed. So those are the 2 things that, if those 2 things are met, she would recommend the sale price at $189,900. The spirit of this new legislation that this falls under is to extensively market the property and try to maximize as much return on the property as possible. Obviously, we have to look at recovering all of our losses that we've taken on this property, not only taxes that were lost and not paid, but also costs that we had endured in this property. The cost of a moving company, the cost of eviction, the legal costs, the change in locks, all of the costs that have associated with this, we have to be made whole on.
So the junk removal, if we have the whole thing cleaned out,
Yes.
that goes in those costs too.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
anything we do with it.
Yep,
yeah.
the junk removal, any landscaping work that we did, any town time that is put into this, on town resources for people that are working on this property, town resources, we can charge against it.
Oh, okay, so the highway department, we can basically reimburse those costs, kind of, right?
Right,
Okay.
right. So whatever the highway department had into it, I had asked them to make a spreadsheet of what they have. I don't think it's a ton for the highway department because they are busy with a lot of other things that are going on in town with roads and road construction, so they didn't have a lot of time to dedicate to this. So I had to look at outside vendors to look into this. I'm very thankful for Chad Sablack, local landscaper, helping us out. Did a marvelous job today cleaning out the front part of it. And then hopefully, we will have somebody in place very soon for for the trash aspect of the property. We are going to get some dumpsters from Associated Building Records. We have an account with them. We've used them in the past. They have a fair price. We will have the dumpsters on site, and we just need the staff to take out the trash. And there's a lot of it, and it's not the most pleasant conditions in there. We're going to have to pay for that. But I really recommend the town move as aggressively as possible on this, so that we can recover, this. If the market changes, if we go into winter and holding in this, costs are gonna rise. It's not gonna be advantageous. We may not get the 189 or somewhere near there. Now, based on our projections, I'm hopeful that the marketing plan and strategy that is put forth by Berkshire Hathaway and Deborah DeChamps, that this won't last on the market long, hopefully. But I think it's, we're hitting the timing. We have a small window of opportunity here. People are now back in the area. People are paying attention more. School's back, vacations are over. But we've got to hit this before winter, in my opinion, because once winter comes, it's a dark period. Literally.
Yeah,
Nobody buys houses in winter.
yeah, I know. All right.
And so this would be a 6-month contract with Deborah.
Okay.
Obviously, we're hoping that it sells beforehand. If after 6 months, if we don't have anything, any bites, any offers, then we can, move in a different direction and decide, what we want to do. But it has to be, also has to be at least listed with a real estate agent or broker. If an offer hasn't been accepted, it has to be listed for an entire year before we could entertain it going to an auction.
Okay.
If we get an offer next month, and I come to the board and say, this is the offer we got, does the board want to take it? And they take it, then that's fine.
Yeah.
But if we don't get any offers, it has to be at least listed for a whole year before it could go to an auction.
Now, if it goes to auction, do the same rules apply? We get paid first, and then whatever's left over goes to the original owner, or do we keep everything?
Yeah, no, the same rules would apply.
Okay.
So,
All right. But
whatever is brought at the auction.
But it could be much less.
Could be much less.
Yeah.
We're hopeful that in this particular property, that we're gonna be able to recover everything. I'm very hopeful on that. And I think that we're not gonna be at a loss. Now, there's times when these properties will bring a loss to a town. I don't think this is one of them, and neither does Deborah DeChamps. So, but there's a possibility for, as we get more involved in these tax title things, there's not always gonna be an opportunity that there's gonna be, we're gonna be made whole on these things.
Okay.
Now, do we have to keep the heat and the electricity on in that house?
I don't believe any of that is on as of right now.
But
that,
as winter starts
if
rolling in,
Well,
then
if
that's.
the water's drained, we can keep the heat
You
on.
know,
we would have to have it.
Yeah, we would have to look at that,
Yeah.
And that could cause, because even if it has a boiler and there's water in the boiler,
Yeah.
that can
So
cause
that's,
It's
those
steam
are those
heat, so there's
maintenance costs
2
that,
gallons in there. That's easy to drain.
those are those maintenance costs as we get into the colder
Yeah,
season, that we're gonna have to start to tackle.
Yeah.
Right now, it's okay. I'd like to get this on the market next week. And I, again, I can't thank, Chad Sablack enough getting this all done today. And then, hopefully we'll have a a junk person there by Monday, and, this thing can be turned, and she can list it next week.
Okay, so enough talking about it, let's get
All
it
right,
done.
all right.
All right.
Any other questions?
I think it's a good exercise, a good thing to explore how it goes. It may be other properties that even the town can make a little bit more money. And even I came into my idea to make an article to get a little bit on the side, so we can pay in advance and not wait until it sells or wait until we lose. Or even if it means just a little coat of paint or some carpentry to sell it for a lot more, it would be good to have something in hand, and just trying to spend the money and then hope it sells so we can recover the money. I mean, we are not into real estate, but I think it's a good exercise to how to tackle these problems.
Yeah, okay. All right, is there a motion?
Yep, I'll make a motion to enter into a contract with Realtor Deborah DeChamps from Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Realty to act as the official listing agent for 38 Elm Street.
Is there a second?
Second,
All in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye.
Richi Hacker, aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
All right, continued discussion from the 8/7/25 meeting on the recent inspection of the two chair lifts at the Shepherd Municipal Building.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. So as we had talked about at our last meeting, and you wanted me to do some research on the chairlifts, and I know there's a gentleman, Mr. Fournier, he's here. Thank you for looking that information up. I really do appreciate that. I got a chance to talk to Garavanta, and Garavanta had indicated that they would not install a used component that's
Yeah.
not from their shop. Even though it's a Garavanta part, they said that they would not install it. They would not want to take the liability. If the part doesn't work, or somebody got hurt, or the machine didn't function properly. They had indicated this in this email that is in your packet, just stating that following our conversation today, the current master board on your existing lift is now obsolete and cannot be replaced. Garavanta is unable to install a used board secured by others, as we do not support or supply used components. So,
So instead of us getting it for $200, they want to charge us $4,000 for it?
I think it was more than that.
well, yeah, if they had one, it would be somewhere around 5,000. They don't even have one.
Yeah, okay. No. Did you have a comment?
No, she was
Oh,
raising
okay,
her
sorry.
hand, so I was trying to.
And then we maybe have a quote from somebody else?
So I did also reach out, I went through the state bid list and state options that offer a blanket contract. There is a company that I contacted, United Elevator. They are on the state bid list. They do not have a they don't sell Garavanta, but they're called a Savara, and Savara is the mother company to Garavanta.
Oh.
So Savari bought out, or is in the process of buying out Garavanta, and Garavanta is still going to remain Garavanta, but Savari is going to be the main company.
So Garavanta is the subcontractor of it.
Well,
Basically.
Garavanta, yeah, is their own lift company made out of Germany, but Savara has bigger pockets to buy out Garavanta. Garavanta, I guess, does not want to be in the servicing business anymore, of servicing chairlifts. They want to be in just selling their product. Savara had indicated, or United Elevator indicated, that a lot of Garavanta's parts, even for machines that are only 10 years old, they're not carrying them anymore. Their business model changed after COVID. They would just want to be able to sell their lifts and install them. They don't want to be in the parts business. They don't want to be in the service business. That's,
So great, they come and install it, and then it's like, well, good luck.
well, I mean,
If
you
it
know,
breaks, you can buy a new one.
Yeah, yeah. well,
that is what United Elevator Company had indicated to me.
Yeah, okay.
He is working on a price quote for me. It would be a lot easier to use United Elevator. They are on the state bid list. However, the price is probably going to be more expensive than what Garavanta is because of the fact that all of the infrastructure is already mapped out by Garavanta, and is Garavanta's infrastructure there, the rails, the design.
So United Elevator would have to basically rip all that out and redo it.
Correct.
Okay. So this is almost $93,000 for Garavanta, huh?
So $93,000 is for Garavanta to rip everything out
Oh,
and to
okay.
start over.
If they couldn't use the rails.
Yeah. I had him give us a quote for starting over from rock bottom, and then a modernized quote.
Yeah, okay.
And a modernized quote is using most of the same infrastructure, the same rails,
Mm-hmm.
and then retrofitting it to a newer system, a new system.
How much
So
was
that
that?
was $72,000.
Okay.
So in all, most likely, we're gonna have to do an article for the $92,000, just to make sure we cover everything,
Yeah.
in case the option B can't be done.
Yeah, they find
Because then
something wrong.
we can't go
right?
back to town meeting and say, okay, now we need another $20,000,
Yeah.
because they can't do what they said they're gonna do.
Yeah, I agree.
I would like to get, a quote, an estimate from United Elevator. I've asked them for that.
Yeah.
That would be a lot easier.
Perchance they might be less. We don't know.
Yeah.
Yep. It's
Um,
worth finding out.
It would be a lot easier to contract with them instead of having to, go out to bid.
Mm-hmm.
Garavanta would require us to go out to bid. So it's a lot, it's certainly, a lot more time consuming. And we're looking to, try to expedite this as
Yeah,
quickly as possible.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Sir, can we mention, just for the record, what is the issue from taking a handicap access from A to B?
So, so the both chair lifts in the Shepherd Building have failed inspection. They are gonna come out and do a re-inspection. They haven't done it yet, but within 90 days of the initial inspection, which was on July 31st. So, they could be here tomorrow, they could be here 2 months from now.
So we have 2 stairways, that's it? Don't we
Two-
have 3?
2 stairways, yeah.
No, but we would only replace
One.
one lift.
That's what I'm trying,
Yeah,
that's where
yeah.
I'm trying to go. We have 3 stair lifts. Which one is the one that we're gonna replace?
So the one that we would replace would be the one in front of the treasurer collector's office, the collector's office.
So for the record, we need handicap access from going in, from the handicap parking outside on the south side of the building
Mhm.
to get into the building and then go up the half story and go in?
Yeah, and to the
Full.
second floor.
Yeah.
Also the second floor?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
Goes all the way up.
And then we'd leave the one in the back for now? Or?
No, we would decommission that. We would have to decommission that.
Because it's not gonna be you, or
Right.
we're not gonna repair it.
Right.
Okay. So there's a cost
There's
to
a
that?
cost to that too. So this,
Jeez.
this 92,000
Oh, does that
includes the decommissioning.
Oh, okay, all right.
And there's no way we could survive only with access to the first floor handicap.
No.
Must have to the second floor as well.
Unless you close the second floor and there's nobody up there.
We can't do that.
Okay. I just wanted to, so we mentioned on the record So when they see us talking about all these handicap things and prices, the issue is our handicap access is not good and we need to replace it. And it goes from the handicap parking lot on the south side to the first and second floor of this building.
I would also like to kind of get an idea from the board, you know, are they looking to wait until the special? Are you looking to do a special before then, or
Well, what's a special on its own gonna cost?
probably about $1,500?
I don't know, I guess let's cross that bridge when we get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, was there a comment or a question?
I just am confused about Garavia, is that how you?
Garavanta, yep.
Okay, so they're not surfacing, they don't want to surface their parts, even if you bought a new one.
They don't have a part available.
No, but if you,
You buy a new
you said the
setup.
business motto changed during COVID.
Right.
So they wanna get out of surfacing,
That's what another company had said.
oh, not them directly.
Right.
United Elevator
Right.
said that about
Oh.
Caravan.
Right.
Never mind.
So I guess we should know before we get this installed what their commitment is, or before we do this.
Well, you'd need to establish a service plan too.
Oh, yeah.
because
Yeah,
if they're gonna have it, we want it warranted for
Right.
so long. We don't want them saying after a year, you guys are on your own now.
Yeah, so we need, like,
Especially if something like the motherboard goes again, and that's another,
that was my thought.
you
yeah,
know, $10,000 for a motherboard.
Even if it's brand new,
Mm-hmm.
and you're putting that money into them, and then 5 months, 6 months down the line, something goes on,
Yep.
and, because otherwise, you just buy that used part and have somebody install it, if they're not servicing their items anyways.
So the warranty on this would be 2 years parts, 1 year labor.
So I
And
think-
then you can buy a maintenance plan as well.
okay. So what we really have to worry about is like 5 years from now or 10 years from now, right? When something happens. Is
If
there
it
gonna
breaks,
be
if it breaks
somebody-
in 2 years, then it wasn't worth buying in the first place. Like you're saying,
Yeah.
5, 10 years from now,
Yeah.
when
That's
the
when
things
you-
actually start
Yeah.
having issues.
Yeah, then we need the.
Well, I mean, this one did last 28 years, so.
Right.
But they built them better then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there is that.
Nobody makes anything to last anymore.
Yeah.
You know that.
All right, we moving on? Anything else?
Good.
All right. Review correspondence from Building Commissioner Bill Cantel regarding the overhead structure on the north side of the Police Department building, the old town hall. So, good day. It has been noticed the overhead structure located on the north side of the Warren Police Department building is possibly structurally compromised. This is a safety concern to all that use the sidewalk under it, with a possible road hazard as well. While it does not appear to be an immediate danger at this time, a structural report by a licensed professional should be provided ASAP and appropriate action taken.
So are they talking about the bell tower?
No,
No.
they're talking about the overhang right in front of the handicap accessible access to
The one that we were told to remove by our engineer that reviewed it. Well, the people that reviewed it.
It might have been, yeah.
Yeah. Because he told us to take that off,
Yeah, like,
the overhang, yeah.
yeah.
It's in that report. So did Bill review the last report that was done?
I'm not sure where he got this from, if it was from a report or if it was just a complaint or possibly his own observation. I did get a copy of this as well as Chief Millette. I reached out to Weston and Sampson to see if they could provide us with some type of an analysis, and they are working on it, and I'm waiting to hear back from them.
Okay.
But why are we doing that if we already had it reviewed? And we have the report of the structural, and I'm pretty sure in that report, that was one of the things that they said to remove. And then the bell tower was an issue, then the stage that was inside the auditorium was an issue.
I've never seen that, but I mean, I've heard of it. I haven't seen that.
You should have it in the file,
Okay.
because we spent that money on that report.
Okay.
Okay, could we just have a quote to remove it safely?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm sure that Weston and Sampson will be able to tell us what the cost will be to remove it, or, you know, projected costs. You know, there may be some, I don't know if that's anything historical in nature, that we would have to get some type of approval from the Historical Commission. You know, that should probably be looked at.
Well, the other thing to look at is can it be, maybe it just needs some support somewhere. And it can
Right,
be
and that has to be
maintained.
determined by a structural engineer.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would find
Find
the
the report,
report that
alright.
we did already, instead of paying an engineer again.
Well, I don't know, but did they give us a cost for taking it down,
Yeah.
or a cost for
They
keeping it?
they
or-
put costs on everything in there, what
Alright,
it was
well.
gonna be.
All right.
Yeah.
The breakdown and why it listed, and the removal of the building, and how much that would cost.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a few years ago, but if
But
he's
it's
just
still-
looking at something from an engineer, and again, an engineer went in there over 20-something years ago and
Yeah.
said issues about that building.
2015.
Another engineer that we just contracted a few years ago just did it too, and pointed out the issues with the building.
I suggest that.
Use
get
that
a-
report.
We get a quote to take it down, and if
Yeah.
it's historically, we can take it carefully in storage inside the building until we have money to repair or something. But right now, if it falls into somebody, is gonna be an issue. So let's not demolish, let's just take it down and put it inside.
Yeah, I just don't wanna pay another engineer to do what an engineer already did.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
If we already did the work, and we already had an engineer saying, this is an issue, here we go.
I'm not even sure if Weston and Sampson would charge us. I mean, we've been a very good
They
customer.
charge us for everything.
Well, just
No,
to,
no,
just,
they don't. They've actually.
just,
Oh, they
just to
have.
do, you know, a quick analysis on an overhang, you know, we've been a very good customer. I've asked them to look at it, you know, before we get any type of pricing, I'm sure they'll give me a price.
Yeah.
And if anything needs to be put in writing, you can look at the old report.
Old
Let
report.
Weston and Sampson look at that and say, do you concur with this?
Right.
Sure.
You know,
Joe.
Joe Condrat, resident. I believe at one time that overhang had a copper roof.
It still does.
it's still copper.
And some 50 years ago, when the lower hall was used for welfare food distribution, the truck backed into it. So there might be a dent like on the outer side,
Yeah.
Yes, there is a dent there. Yep.
but that was 50 years ago. If it didn't come down then, now I would say it would be probably becoming probably unbolted from the cement. And I think the only way you could possibly uphold it would be to put support posts out by the gutter.
Okay. All right, well, I guess keep us up to date.
I
We
will.
can talk about it
Yep.
next
Yep.
meeting.
Did he give a time frame when he wanted this done?
Just said ASAP.
ASAP.
Well, let's get the quote to take it down.
Yeah, let's see
Yeah.
what it comes in. Okay. All right, discussion on moving the Board of Selectmen's regular meeting schedule to every 2 weeks.
Isn't that what we're already doing?
Well, that's why I threw it on here, and honestly, since I've been on this board, I've wondered why we meet every week. I mean, sometimes we have busy weeks, sometimes we don't.
During budget season, you really gotta
Yeah.
kinda do that.
And I think we can be flexible, but it seems to me that we've been fine every 2 weeks. And, you know, okay, so we've been here an hour and a half. I mean, we've had way longer meetings than, you know, and it just depends on the workload. And I think we could do a standard of every 2 weeks. And then when we
Ultimately,
meet,
it's your call.
yeah. And
You
then
tell
when-
us to be here every
All right.
week, we'll be here every week. Every 2 weeks, we'll be here every 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think we can just take it as it comes.
I say no, every 3 weeks.
Every 3 weeks.
I don't know if we want to.
One time a year.
Yeah.
Have one
Well,
massive select meeting.
I think we could stay with the 2 weeks, but we are willing to have a special meeting in the middle if we need
Things,
to.
things
Yeah.
pop up.
Yeah,
If we
things
need
pop
to,
up.
we make ourselves available.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I could say. If we keep the 2 weeks, if there's something going on that the administrator or somebody or another board really wants, then we meet in the middle.
Yeah, okay. So, I don't know, do we need a motion, or just if we're in agreement?
If that's what you wanna do, then that's
Unless it's-
fine, yeah.
it's my
that's-
decision, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's your decision.
There.
Yeah, go there.
Yeah, no, I won't do that. That's obnoxious. All right. Anticipated vote, oh yeah, okay, so warrants and bills, Mr.
All right,
Dufresne.
payroll number
You
0326.
gotta make a motion.
You're right. I'm already watching the clock. Okay, I make a motion for payroll, to pay payroll, number 03-26, in the amount of $124,267.10. And accounts payable, number 07-26, for $149,205.92.
Is there a second?
Second,
All in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye.
Rich Hacker, aye. Motion carries. Bills,
Make a motion to pay the following bills. American Tower for $2,379.52. SBA Structures for $1,806.47. Hamden Communications for $1,950. Stericycle for $135.67. Verizon for $1,067.50. Comcast Business for $100. Power Products for $3,144.95. Renaissance Alliance Insurance for $2,527.20. National Grid for $176.72. Warren Board of Sewer for $670. Modern Pest for $117. Merrick Law for $1,010.50. Coppola and Coppola for $4,998. Entree for $3,265.86.
is there a second?
Second,
All in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye.
Rich Hacker, aye. Motion carries. Is there a motion to accept the minutes?
I'll make a motion to accept the following minutes for August 7th, 2025.
Is there a second?
Second,
All in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye.
Rich Hacker, aye. Motion carries. Town Administrator report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. I'd like to report on a couple matters before you this evening. Obviously, we mentioned 38 Elm Street. Thank you to the board for moving that along. I've already gotten raving reviews from the neighbors in and around 38 Elm. They are very appreciative of the town cleaning up the property and getting it hopefully back on the tax rolls very soon. So people are seeing that, and they are appreciative of that. I did want to report back to the board. I know this came up at our last meeting about bathrooms for elections. I did contact Secretary of State Galvin's office, Election Division. The town is not required to provide bathrooms during an election. I know that had come up at our last meeting. I am in the process of renewing my C My MCPPO designation, it's been 3 years since I've been certified. My certification is up July of 2026. So I am going to be taking some courses this fall and winter to renew my certification with the Attorney General's office, with the Inspector General's office, and on my MCPPO designation, which is for my Chief Procurement Officer's responsibilities. So I will be working on that and getting my next 3 years designation. I attended this week the Central Massachusetts Regional 911 District Administrators Meeting, and we met in Oakham, at Oakham Town Hall, and we talked about a few different topics. One in particular was the meat of the meeting was a letter of an intent on a property in Auburn. The district director brought forward a letter of intent that he would like the committee, the administrative board, to consider signing for potentially purchasing the property in Auburn as a new location. The property currently is being negotiated between the administrative board and the listing agent. The letter of intent is non-binding, and it is to purchase the property for $3.5 million. That purchase would be covered through a state grant. And so the Regional 911 District has recently signed the town of Spencer and is currently talking with Sturbridge and Charlton, with more to come. So the fruition of growing and trying to reduce everybody's assessment is moving right along. However, at the administrative meeting, I did raise the question that I feel strongly that an appraisal needs to be done on the property before signing a letter of intent. I feel as though that a third-party appraisal, whether it comes in, good or bad, needs to be done. And before we are negotiating any type of fee, whether it's covered by a grant or not. There's gonna be additional costs associated with the building, energy costs. It's a lot more square footage. It's like 17,000 square feet of a space. And so, there's gonna be retrofitting of the building and bringing it up to standards, public building standards. So there's quite a bit involved here. And to also follow suit with what procurement is going to be requiring us, it makes sense to, before a letter of intent is signed by the board, that a third-party evaluation be done. That is what I recommended, and that is what my colleagues also went along with that serve on the administrative board. So the letter of intent was not signed at the meeting until we get some type of either third-party appraisal done, or the letter of intent reflects that it gives us the option to have the third-party appraisal done, with the price being negotiable after the appraisal is done.
Yeah.
So I thought that was the prudent thing to do, and that was the recommendation that I brought to the board on behalf of the town. And so the board also talked about filling a vacancy. There is a full-time vacancy on the board, as a dispatcher. One of the full-time dispatchers left, and now we authorize the executive director to appoint the part-time person who applied for the position, who is looking to move up to a full-time slot. We also talked about, and I mentioned this to the executive director, because, things are starting to roll with a possible Auburn location, although I told him I'd much rather see a Warren location. I told him that he needs to have a discussion, or the managers need to have a discussion with staff to inform them. Rutland and Auburn is quite a distance.
Yeah, that is.
So, we want to work with our existing staff that's there and try to help them and retain them. Although, when this does expand, and I'm guessing that we're going to get more communities beyond just Spencer right now, that as we continue to grow, we're going to need to bring on a significant amount of more staff to cover that. And so, but some of these communities already have dispatchers that are, going to be looking to either transition, or some of the communities are keeping some of their dispatchers as like front-end staff to keep their offices open and have them do other functions within the PD or the fire department. So, those discussions have been happening at the administrative board level. Rutland is, their representative wasn't there at the meeting. They're in a transition period. They're looking for a new town administrator in Rutland. The gentleman who had that position moved to Sutton. So they have an interim right now, and we hadn't had a chance to talk with him. He wasn't at the meeting. And Barry is also, I think they just recently maybe just hired somebody as their town administrator. But the interim was there, who was the police chief of Barry. He was the interim, but they just hired a town administrator, so we're waiting for her to come on also. So there's some transition with the board, but Hubbardston's still there, Oakham's still there, obviously Warren, and so we will be also welcoming Spencer pretty soon. I was told by Mike Moriarty, the executive director, that they signed, so Spencer. So I'm assuming Spencer will have a representative there soon. I do want to report back to the board that we were able to work. I was able to work with Jeremy, and we looked at the FY24 road materials contract that was drafted, and in the solicitation and in the contract, on that particular one, I had put in there a clause that allows the town to extend for up to 3 years. So I was able to extend the Palmer paving contract at the same rate in 2024, and they're agreeable to honoring those rates, because Jeremy wanted to continue with them with that pricing to reflect his budget for Coy Hill. That's going to be coming up, a big project there. So we are going to be going out to bid for Chapter 90 in the early late winter or early spring. Those contracts, the current FY25 contract doesn't expire until June 30th of 26. So we still have a little bit of time there. So we were able to make that happen. I did send that letter out to Palmer Paving today. I've been working with the sewer department on some of their initiatives as well. The scum pump replacement, we had a meeting this week, a pre-construction meeting with the scum pump with Ty and Bond and Arden. They have ordered the pumps. It's going to take 3 or 4 months for the pumps to come in, and then they're going to be installing them, which they claim, depending on if they have to make any modifications to them, you know, which they're thinking is gonna be limited, that they could be in, you know, within a week or so. But if they have to make significant modifications to them, could be longer. While I was at the meeting, the pre-construction meeting, Chris Bone from Ty and Bond had also, wanted me to know that the chlorine gas system that is down at the wastewater treatment plant is an ancient system that only is going to leave the town in liability issues, staff getting hurt, the public potentially getting hurt if there was ever a leak of some sort. I am working with the sewer commissioners. I brought it to Travis's attention, and we are going to try to come up with a game plan to put some money away to get that system transitioned out of there. It's about a $650,000 job that they're estimating, but it needs to get done.
Yeah, it's very dangerous.
So.
That's something that came up like 5 years ago now, 2020, 2021.
So.
It's always been a concern.
Yeah.
That is gonna be on the radar. So, when things, I know that it's always difficult to raise rates. I totally get that. It's very difficult. But when you're dealing with aging infrastructure and capital needs and different things, these are the reasons why, unfortunately, rates go up.
Well, but the real problem is that rates weren't raised
For
when they could have
quite
been
some time.
raised at a modest amount every year. Now they have to go up huge
Yeah.
amounts to make up
Yeah.
for that shortfall.
It's just a big impact on people's budgets when they're not expecting it.
It is.
And people living off of a fixed income and stuff, it's hard to have dramatic increases. We all see our electric bills going up, and those are dramatic
Yeah.
increases. And,
But they went 3, 4, 5 years with no
Yeah.
rate increases at all. And they
That's-
could have done a 3%,
Yeah.
a 5%, something small, just to keep things, but they didn't. So
Yeah.
here we are.
That's an injustice, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's.
I mean,
that's
I'm
the
not
injustice.
saying that as, a proponent to keep raising rates, but if you did it over the course of time, you wouldn't feel the impact as bad,
Yeah.
right up front.
Well, plus things would have been taken care of 20 years ago or 10 years ago or whatever that we now have to deal with.
And finally, tonight, I'd like to report to the board, I know that there's been a flyer been circulating around, we've got it posted up, but the master plan revealing and final presentation is going to be September 3rd at 5 p.m. at St. Stan's Polish Club from 5 to 7. So we're hoping to get a good crowd there. There's going to be food there, and the final presentation of the master plan will be then.
very good.
September 3rd, right?
Yep.
It's a Wednesday.
Yep. The regional dispatch, so you said a grant will pay to purchase the building?
Yes.
What about renovation?
They will pay for that too, some portion of it.
Wow, okay. And why, and did they look at a bunch of other sites, or did they just pick,
No, I think the
Auburn.
executive director had looked at quite a few different sites.
okay, all right. Because when you mentioned the implications of the people who work there now having to travel. That's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Because there's maybe some people who are north of Rutland,
Right.
right, have been working there for a while, and they've got maybe a 20-minute commute,
Yeah,
and now they're gonna have to go
yeah.
very far south, so.
So that was
that's-
one of the concerns that I had raised to him,
Yeah.
when he mentioned this site,
Okay, all right. Thank you, Jim.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
No, sir.
Okay. Any new business? Okay, so old business. Welcome to Warren Signs. Oh,
No, we got a big biohazard sitting in front of us.
don't open that. It says do not open.
Are you authorized? It's a cake, isn't it?
Wow.
Signs are here. Another poster on. And we're gonna have Jeremy fabricating posts or purchase whatever the post. It's at the last minute. Decided to keep everything matching. We're just gonna make aluminum substrate, posts over.
Oh, I can
All matching.
Dramatic reveal.
I was expecting a sign. Very impressive, sir.
Somebody wants to be here.
Put it back. It's upside down. Oh, look at that.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
The back,
Drop it.
move too far here.
Don't drop it, Joe.
So is that a metal sign? What's the deal? It's, or just plastic?
Acrylic. Aluminum substrates cut through it,
Okay,
and then this is all carved in.
yeah. I mean, it looks metallic to me.
Raised off the top.
Spelled Warren wrong.
I know, let me spell check.
The supports for this is all pre-drilled,
Okay.
okay, so from bolt through.
Yep.
The supports are gonna be, like I said, aluminum on top of the wooden insert. You just bolt through, somebody's gonna have to take the ground.
Look, even Mark Montes.
Looks a lot better than we expected.
Yeah, it's really
beautiful.
nice. Okay, can you do the other flip around again? Is this even, it's not even showing on the TV.
Here it is. Well,
That's all right. Wow, that's really excellent.
now we definitely can't change our website.
Yeah.
At least the domain,
Now, how will
Two
that,
inches box.
will this survive like in the sunlight
It's
and
all
stuff?
winterized.
Okay, so it like won't fade
It
in
will not
a couple of
fade,
years?
will not. I
Wow.
also have, touch-up paint
Okay.
Nice.
So Route 67 and Route
for it.
19?
You guys pick.
Oh, okay. I thought we sort of decided, because we have two signs or three? Two, okay. Well, we could do 67 on either side of town.
They'd say 67. That's
Yeah.
our main way in and out.
We gotta figure out where on 67 to run down by Palmer. Looks great.
Well, we can take that one and move it, maybe put it on
I don't
19.
know if that's on,
Okay.
Isn't this not wrong?
Well, we also have a right of way
Believe me,
though.
I
Like
was
20 feet off the
It's our
center.
town sign, yeah.
That was too.
We should be able,
that one's hung by chains up
yep.
the
Probably put that one on, like I said, Route 19.
Yeah, maybe clean it up a little bit and
Yeah.
repurpose. Yeah. Wow, this is really excellent.
You really do a good job.
Please,
Probably
really,
gonna be
please.
a couple of weeks before
Everybody wants the full sign.
we're all being handbagged, like, something to have. Cap on the top of the post,
Yeah,
so nothing gets down to the side.
yeah.
you should sign it.
We gotta find a place to store them, so.
Well, put it back in that box and we'll just leave it
Selectmen's
there.
office until then. Sure Griffin will make sure it's okay.
All right, Griffin, if anything happens to it, you're in big trouble.
Better not end up outside some teenager's house.
Yeah.
What was that, the police Humvee doors one time?
Oh, God.
Some kid stole them off the vehicle.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, excellent.
On the side,
What was that?
the website, when did it change?
It didn't.
Yeah, warren-ma.gov. I'm sure Dan like triple checked it. Did you triple check everything, like the website?
I already hit him with the spelling joke.
It took so long because we had so much.
No, I said you spelled Warren wrong.
I told them they spelled visiting wrong.
All right, so, I'll just say, is there anything on the, old business list that you want to bring up, or are we good for now?
Credit cards.
The treasurer is,
Oh, she's out, right?
has been on vacation this last week, but, you know, she's gonna look into it, but she wants us to develop a policy first. And, I think that's a good idea.
Okay, we can do that.
Yeah.
I mean, it can't be that complicated, right?
Yeah.
Easy enough. Jim,
Yeah.
can you get us a policy, please?
All right, anything else?
I'll just say to follow up on the website, I let them know that you guys want to go with the design you picked. I still haven't
Site number
heard.
3 or whatever,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, I told them that, and I haven't heard anything back yet, but
Okay.
hopefully soon.
As long as it has the Zoom link and the phone number, I'm okay.
As long as you can change the phone number and put it on the front, right?
Yeah. All right, moving on, correspondence, we have, all right, I'm not gonna read this. So, the AB, well, the state passed a new law, right, that affects liquor licenses. So, see if I got this right. If we have businesses that have wine and malt licenses, they can go to all alcoholic by just applying, right?
So
That would be
I had Griffin
Okay,
go
yeah.
to the, I had Griffin attend the webinar, so maybe he can report
Yeah,
on
I
that.
did too.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was at the one the other day, and pretty much this was passed, and it's up to you guys to decide if you want to go forward with it. There's no deadline on when you make that decision.
Okay.
So it's something to consider, but no rush on it, and doesn't have to happen. But like you said, if you did accept that policy, yes, it would allow the wine and malts to convert to an all alcohol.
Yeah.
And I guess the only caveat with that was, if they went to sell the business, they would have to convert it back to a wine and malt before selling it. But like I said, no, this isn't like, you don't have to do this.
All right. So, we need to vote on this? Oh, we don't?
No. Not unless you want to do it.
Yeah, okay, right. Yeah, if we want to do it, we need to vote. So, why don't we put it on the next agenda, unless you guys are opposed? Personally, I'm in favor of it, I'm fine with it. I would rather give businesses more chance
Yeah, but
to
I
get
don't think you
business.
have to vote on it until you have an actual need for one. There's licenses that's still available.
Okay, but what if somebody has a wine and malt and they want to switch over?
Well, then we would,
Then we
then
would
we
deal with it then?
could, we could deal with it
I
then.
don't think anybody does. I think they're all,
I'm not sure. That's why I asked you if we
I
got
think
that
they have all
list,
alcohol for all of
and
them
then you
so far.
sent it to me, but
Yep.
it was mostly, we have package stores, right? There was,
I believe so. I could add this to old business, and
Yeah.
between the next meeting, I can do some
I
research
think
on
the
that.
only
for you.
one going for a liquor license right now is Tropic Vibes.
did they,
And
Yes,
they were
Tropical
going through a
Vibes.
pro.
But
And
they
then
did
we
a
have,
full, I think.
I forgot. what the name is.
Countryside.
Countryside, that was just purchased. The gentleman who purchased it was in the other day, and he's trying to be proactive about it. He's already asked me about it, so we could expect that one as well.
And he's gonna do a full license then?
I believe so.
Okay. All right, so I got it. So we don't have
It's not
anybody
even
who's
an
gonna
issue.
convert?
Right.
Because we don't, yeah, okay. All right. All righty. Comments and concerns. Comments and concerns?
You want to go first? Okay. Nope, I got one.
Oh, okay.
I want to know if we're going to be doing the haunted house this year in the town hall. Have you heard anything?
I haven't heard.
Because that's been brought up. Did you
The
follow?
gym has already been reserved from I can give you the exact dates, but
But we're doing it this year?
yes, that's the plan, since there's no election.
No election.
Yep.
Yeah, okay,
Awesome.
cool.
Okay, I'm just trying to see which one I go first. Um, For the sewer, would it help the families or the residents be able to pay monthly instead of 1 or 2 installments? Because it's easier to pay small bills every month than a big one at the end of the year or something.
So, that's a valid point, Derek. As of, not too long ago, the bill was once a year. Now we went to biannually, one in the fall and one in the spring. So, there's a possibility that, the sewer commissioners could explore quarterly or monthly billing, to break it up, and to find out what the costs associated with that would be. That's certainly a possibility.
And next, that'll be a good thing. We all know that 19 has been paved, right?
No,
We're,
just ground,
Graded.
graded. They're paving next week.
Okay, but the area in front of the highway, it's ready to be paved, or it's not there yet?
No, it would be ground up right now. So the first step, when they grind it all up,
Yep.
and then they leave the rough, and then, from what I understand, I think it's Thursday and Friday of next week is when they pave, and then it'll be done.
It feels to me like they want the section in front of the highway going south, it's already paved. Or am I wrong?
They just milled it. They're putting in all the infrastructure right now, all the manholes, they're doing all that, that's why.
Yeah, the manholes, that's right.
They're doing that first, and then they'll do a top coat next week.
Okay. Then I'll hold that for the next meeting. So then I was looking at the bylaws, and there's one section where it says that I had it here. I don't know what happened. I lost it. About
Which kind of bylaws? Zoning?
yeah, maybe that tab it is. There we go. So Article 9, Section 1, sidewalks, it says, no person shall operate a horse, that's okay, bicycles, carts, skateboards, line skates, scooters, or similar device on any public sidewalk or parking lot, or permit any of the foregoing to stand on any sidewalk so as it obstructs pedestrians and public travel. I'm okay, half of it, but in sections like, for example, Southbridge Road is very dangerous. And, if I go out with my kids, I'll go on the sidewalk on bicycles. Because it's too dangerous to go on the road. People will just zoom by and so is there any way we can make a tweak to keep people safe?
You'd have to do an article for the town meeting.
Because I see a lot of kids going to school on bicycles in the mornings and coming back from home, and of course they're using the sidewalks. And to me, I
Right.
think it's okay because it's dangerous.
I think that's a great idea. In like the chairman had indicated, we would have to put a change or a modification on as a bylaw at a town meeting. I would encourage anybody, if they feel more safe to walk on the sidewalk or ride their bicycle, if it's more safe, then do it. I don't think that there's any enforcement mechanism where somebody's gonna come out and ticket you if you're riding your bicycle on the sidewalk, but,
Yeah.
Well, it says violation of this section may be punishable, and it's talking about $100.
I think
I mean-
where that becomes enforceable is if
I
you
understand
have
where
a
is it coming
nuisance,
from. Yeah.
you got a bunch of kids riding their bikes and they're pushing pedestrians off into the street, and
Yeah.
they're becoming a hazard for everybody else.
So I think you could
But-
add that kind of language to
Yeah.
this.
What I'm trying is to modify it a little bit so it allows, sometimes a kid to, get on the sidewalk, or, a family with their kids, and
So you could say no reckless activity or, no nuisance activity.
Yeah, something like that. If
You
we
know.
could do that.
I don't want to be able to ride my horse on the sidewalk.
Yes.
I don't have a horse. That's it for me now.
Okay. I've got two things. First of all, Laurel Ridge, Southbridge Street, Warren. I went last night and saw the Green Sisters and had dinner. It's an awesome place. It's like this little gem in Warren. So if you get a chance to go there, they have concerts in the summer. They may have one or two more.
Good food?
Yeah, well, it's a food truck, and it was good food, actually. Yeah. And remember, they came before us to get
Yeah.
like 3 event licenses, so they had Lost Towns there doing beer and wine. So it was really good, so visit them if you can. So, in the last Ware River news, so the thing with Mary Lane and Bay State and the trust fund has been going in the paper for a while now. So it's interesting. What I saw here is there was a group called Caring Health, and I'll just read that. Caring Health was excited about expanding to Ware, but canceled a meeting with the Friends due to the Select Board's vote in support of Bay State Health's convenient care location and continuing to be the beneficiary of the Lewis Gilbert Trust. They decided that they no longer want to plan to come out to the town of Ware, because they feel Bay State would be too much competition. So, first of all, I don't think Bay State's gonna do anything in Ware. It's not worth it. I think they're saying that just to keep the trust. So, I don't know, Jim, could you call this Caring Health place?
Are they out of Springfield?
I don't know.
The
But
Caring Health Center in Springfield, is
I
that?
think, let me read it again. Because I'm just wondering, maybe they don't like Ware, maybe they would like Warren. Caring Health.
Well, if it's the Caring Health Center in Springfield, I used to be on the board of directors.
No,
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Is there anything you weren't?
No, I was on the board of directors for the Caring Health Center after they had their troubles. And so, their model is good. They offer, community health center for low to moderate income families that need care. I didn't realize that they were looking to come to Ware, but,
I mean,
if that's the same,
Yeah.
organization. But
Yeah.
they do get a lot of federal funds, and they have quite a few offices in Springfield.
okay. We've got mill buildings, we've got a bank building. I
It'd
don't
be
know.
really good in the bank.
Yeah,
That would be right there, centrally located for everybody.
The key to what was, from what you had read to us
Trust.
was they were looking to tap that trust as their startup money.
yeah.
So,
But there's no guarantee they would have got that money
Yeah.
either, because,
Yeah.
I don't know. So,
They might just be looking for a different location.
yeah, that's what
To
I'm thinking.
expand.
yeah.
Just coming out this way a little bit, and why
We
not?
can
I
use
mean,
them.
we're here, we got plenty of space and buildings, and,
The executive director, her name is Tanya Barber, and I do remember her. She was not the executive director at the time. Ann Awad was the executive director at the time when I served on the board. And I was there for maybe 3 years. They initially started in the south end of Springfield. They expanded. They have offices now on Sumner Avenue in Springfield. They have an office on Boston Road. They've expanded into mental health. They've done some pharmacy stuff, but they've tried to stay with their niche of being a community caring health center. And so I can certainly reach out to Tanya and to see if she was interested in going to Ware. And maybe she would be interested in expanding to Warren.
yeah, that'd be great. Okay. Can we add that to
Okay.
old business?
Sure.
All right. Anybody else? Are we all set?
I'm good.
I'm good.
All right. The public? Joe?
So contract residents. Well, I noticed that some of our flags are up on telephone poles in downtown Warren. I think there were 3 poles that I saw.
Was that,
The flags?
Yeah. We're waiting for the West Warren ones.
we're waiting for them all. Are we good? So,
Yeah. I sent the follow-up email to double check with, I believe it was Jim McKeon, and he had gone out and put those ones out, and I believe the plan is to continue with that.
you already put flags out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's just gonna do a few at a time as he gets time to put them up?
I don't want to speak for him,
Yeah,
but I
right.
believe
Yeah.
that, yes, is the
Okay.
general plan.
Yeah, that's fine.
And another thing, 10 months, it will be July 4th, 250th anniversary. I am sure that the school will be having plays, and it would be nice to see more than just the parents of the children in the play. I mean, the auditorium up there can hold 300 or 400 people. This is Warren. People have to be encouraged, pushed into things. It's not too much to ask the residents, go to these plays. These kids are putting their hearts into them. When my kids were in high school, they did plays, and I look around the room, and it sometimes like this room, you know, nobody shows up. I'm sure we'll have fireworks next year. I'm sure,
See that shirt?
yeah.
That's the Quabog Arts. And my daughter plays on all those plays. And my son is in the back
Yeah.
stage.
Oh, that's the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Well, he has to be there then. I mean, it would be nice that maybe they could have a ball in the gymnasium at the high school, you know? $10 for an adult, $5 for students. I haven't done the Grand March since I was in high school, but I'm sure I can remember it. And I'm sure we'll have our Memorial Day parade. A lot of this stuff is around parks and recreation and the school system. I encourage residents to come forth to these things. Don't leave it up just to the people involved. It's our town. It's the country's 250th anniversary coming up, and we should participate. Thank you.
Thank you. Ray?
Ray Capaco, resident. Two comments tonight. One is to address the issue that Derek brought up about the sidewalks. I think that's simply a parsing of the bylaw. I think the bylaw is written appropriately as it is. I'm not saying don't look at it or modify it if you feel like you need to, but it's commas. There's no period. So no one's going to be cited for operating a horse, a bicycle, or anything else on the sidewalk. It's doing that or permitting any of the foregoing to stand on the sidewalk. So either operate or stand on the sidewalk, and the key is so as to obstruct pedestrian or public travel. So
Oh, okay.
it is worded appropriately.
And
It's just the parsing of it.
Yeah,
And-
okay.
And so
Thank
it's
you,
separated
Ray.
by commas. So
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
think that's okay. I'm not saying don't look at it if you want to, but I appreciate the intent of what you were saying. It's obvious to me that both pedestrians and the traveling public should accommodate each other in appropriate ways. My second comment is about the meeting every 2 weeks. Just get my notes together here real quick. Tonight was not an unusual meeting, no monthly reports, no particularly complicated or contentious issues, and it's going well past 2 hours as is. So that's kind of like a floor. You're never going to have a meeting, if this is a typical meeting, you're never going to have a meeting less than 2 hours. So on that note, if you're going to go to every 2 weeks as a default, then it would be incumbent on whoever's the chair to do a better job of controlling the discussion, to keep comments on task and pertinent.
Sure. Yep.
The chair should, in my opinion, should be recognizing speakers, like calling on them most of the time,
Mm-hmm.
and discouraging off-topic comments. A second consideration regarding meetings in general, the board should consider allowing public comments and concerns at or near the beginning of the meeting to accommodate anyone. I know historically this isn't an issue, but it could be in the future. We had 4 candidates for appointments to boards tonight. It happens. It can happen. So you could have people here who want to address the board, and rather than have to wait for 2 hours plus to do so, they'd have an opportunity at the beginning of the meeting. And you could still maintain a public comment and concern time at the end of the meeting as well, and that would be for the purpose of addressing
During the meeting.
the agenda items,
Yeah.
so forth. So just some input to consider doing that. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I will say this, that with Griffin now on board, we're a lot more efficient. The meeting minutes are like, I just like glance through them and it's done. And we also get all our materials in a PDF well before the meeting on like Monday. So we don't have to sit here and go through all this. We can look, like I was looking at 3 o'clock today, going through all the stuff, so.
I would also highly encourage prep to be done as well.
Yeah, well, now we can. And,
Okay.
Because it's online, we get it in an email, it's all there,
Okay,
the whole thing, so.
thank you.
Yep. Anything else? All right. Next meeting in this, where is my? Oh, I had a phone somewhere. Oh, right here. Okay. All right. I cannot be here. So we weren't scheduled, I can't be here next week, which we weren't scheduled anyway, and I can't be here the 4th. So our next meeting could be the 11th, unless you guys want to have a meeting on the 4th.
No, because it's right after the holiday,
Okay,
so,
okay, so the 11th,
yeah,
we good with that?
it's okay. As long as there's nothing pressing.
Yeah,
If something comes up, then
yeah, then we can schedule something. And we don't have to meet on Thursdays, I mean, if something's needed on a Tuesday, we'll do it on a Tuesday.
Okay.
Okay, so,
11 September.
yes, September 11th at 6 o'clock.
oh,
Don't read into anything like. What, September 11th?
yeah,
I know, but
all right. I think we should do a
we could do a moment of silence. or
moment of silence that
Yeah.
day.
Yeah,
Add
throw a
that in
moment
there.
of silence at the beginning of the meeting. After the pledge, before the pledge, what do you think?
I would,
Yeah, do
well,
it after
the pledge opens up the meeting,
Yeah,
and then after the pledge.
all right, so yeah, throw in there a moment of silence. Okay, is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second,
All in favor?
David Dufresne, aye.
Derek Bailey's aye.
Richi Hacker, aye, we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.